morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is Dr. Jan Fortman with Relationship Matters TV. I hope everyone is having a beautiful, beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. It's a beautiful day here in Chicago. But you know what? What they tell us here is no matter what temperature it is or what season it is, you always have to have a jacket or something in your trunk of your car. So what, 3 days ago it was 90 something degrees. And last night in certain parts of Illinois it went down to 30 in the 30s. And today it was in the 60s. And by the weekend, it's supposed to be back in the upper 70s. But you know what? I am not complaining because every day is a beautiful day. You know what? I'm not going to talk a lot about anything about me. You know why? Because of my guest. Because of my guest. Now, ladies, I know that you cannot wait until we talk to her. So now you go and you find your friends. You tell your friends who are either divorced, widowed, not married, but want a relationship, want a romantic relationship. Get them in front of their computer, in front of their Roku TV, wherever. Get them here. Now, why am I saying all of this? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you about my guest today. I can't wait myself. My guest is Patricia Fuqua. She is a dating strategist for successful women, 45 years plus. She has decades of expertise. She has a thriving 50-year marriage, and she will help you find your soulmate. She will help you date with ease and grace, especially when you are looking for that next love story. And you know, sometimes when that's happening, you're losing your mind. You know, sometimes you're losing your money. But she's going to keep you from losing your mind, losing your money, and losing your independence. So if you're frustrated, you are divorced, you are widowed, you have never been married, this is the woman you want to meet. This is the woman you want to listen to. So let me bring her on right this very minute. Hello, Patricia.
Hello, Dr. Jan. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
Better and better, thank you.
Better and better. Where are you located?
I'm in Georgia, 30 minutes south of Atlanta.
Oh, and how is the weather? Am I going to be jealous?
Well, it's beautiful. Fall is absolutely the best season here.
Okay.
It got up to the upper 70s today, and I needed a jacket, which is unusual for me. So
So,
I was really in heaven about that weather.
so wait, you need a jacket, and when it's 70 degrees, we probably will have on shorts because we're happy when it's when it's at least me anyway. So, how and why did you become a dating strategist for women 45 and over?
Well, I am a romantic. I love to see people happy with partners that they enjoy, and it is something that warms the cockles of my heart. And I want to see as many people around me happy as possible because then I'm happier. It's easier for me to walk through life with happy people around me. I've been married myself, as you mentioned, with this guy who brings a smile to my face whenever I think about him. So that kind of joy makes all the ups and downs in life a lot easier to handle. And that is my wish for people who want to have it too.
Wow. Wow. So why did you focus uh why did you focus on women, who are 45 and over?
It's very interesting. Women 45 or over have been very, very successful in their careers, and they have conquered that business professional world. But they're struggling for love in my world. And so I'm looking at them and I'm saying, okay, we need to just talk a little bit and get clear on what is it that you want, what are your strengths, and how can we turn them into the attraction that brings you to the path that will take you to that partner, that next love story that you want on your terms, not putting up with, not settling. We want them to keep their independence, their mind, and their money. We want it to be easy. We want it to be graceful because they have earned ease and grace.
So the ones who, like you say, they're one, their profession in their profession, everything is going great. And I know so many women who are single, let's say they're divorced,
Mhm.
and they're looking for someone. Do you think they should be looking, or do you think they should just be in a space where the man finds them?
I am a strategist at heart.
Okay.
And so that question, this is how I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
I believe that the man will find them when they put themselves strategically in a place where he wants to meet them. And once they have put themselves in that place and know what to say, what to do, how to act, then he can find them. But they have to do their part. It's not going to be like Disney has taught us. You can be sleeping in a glass coffin like Snow White and have the prince ride along on his horse and wake you up with a kiss. It's not going to do that. Mm-mm.
So when you say they have to be in a place, are you saying a physical place?
I'm saying not only the physical place, but the mental and the emotional place to be open to meet the man. And here's the thing, a lot of my ladies miss, they're the ones who are doing the choosing. So when they realize the power that they have to choose by a smile or wearing a certain color instead of that black that they all seem to like so much,
Ooh, I hope someone I know is watching and listening.
then that is putting themselves in a place so they can be seen. Many of my ladies feel invisible. And I'm looking at these gorgeous, successful women, and they're wearing black. Black is the color of invisibility. When you wear black, you don't want to be seen because people tend to look past you.
Really?
Yes, it's people think, oh, it makes me look slim, it makes me look sexy. It can do that in certain contexts, but if you're going out on a date and or you're going out in a place where you want to be seen by attractive, eligible men, black is not the color to wear because you'll fade into the walls.
Mm.
And that's not the way to meet. men at all, or to be noticed or feel visible.
Okay, so other than not wearing black, how do you how do I some women, it seems like they are a man magnet or a guy magnet, you know. And then some women, it's like they can be in the same place and the guy, and they're looking for someone too, the woman, and the guy walks right past them and goes to this woman, and it's like you ask yourself, well, what makes her so special? Why is it that wherever she goes, it's always someone, a man, like hitting on her or something?
Mm. Well, she has discovered how to smile,
Okay.
how to meet his eye, how
Okay.
to recognize something that she likes about the man. And so naturally he's going to be drawn to her like she's what is that phrase, bees and honey? I forget how it goes.
Okay.
Because if you just think about it, if you're in a situation where there are two men and you have your choice of all of them, which one are you going to be attracted to? The one who smiles at you, winks at you, makes some kind of eye contact, who lets you know that he notices you and he thinks that you're something special, or the one who ignores you or looks down or turns his head and doesn't look at you? Which one is more attractive?
Right. The one who's looking back at you.
Exactly. So the woman who is a magnet to men has learned how to interplay with that energy. She notices him looking at her and she's recognizing it, acknowledging it, welcoming it, because men are very smart. They can see who's interested in talking to them because
Okay.
she's signaling him. She's smiling at him. She's looking at him. She might even wink at him, you know. So
Okay.
that's a come hither signal. Come hither, and he will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can a man tell when a woman is thirsty?
Yes, he can. Yes. That's a great phrase. Even my grandsons who are like, oh, 9, 10, they know when a girl is thirsty. Yeah, they have come home and told me or their mother, "Well, those girls are thirsty, Nana." And I just laugh because from the mouths of babe. So
So
it's very obvious.
so so how can they tell?
Because of the same signals. If you've seen that commercial where the young woman is at the gym and she's working out and she sees this good-looking guy who's working out nearby, and he's running on the thing that run, I forget what it's called, but the you know how
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
really, yeah, and she wants his attention. So she's doing stuff that gets his attention, she's looking over at him sideways, and she's doing smiling at him out of the corner of her eye and all of this, and he if he's interested, he'll notice it and he'll say something. If he's not, he's going to just be with his blinders on. So yeah, I mean, the
So
energy is there.
so it's that energy. Liz Beauty Queen Marty said, "Not thirsty, Jan." LOL. Yeah, well, there's some women that they're thirsty. And the thing is, when I say they're thirsty, it's like, oh, I want someone, and I don't know why I can't find one. And then they go out, and it's like they know you thirsty, and if you it, they know that. I hate to use that terminology, but and then they walk past you. So I guess, like you say, it's that energy.
It's a psychology, this human psychology we're dealing here with. If a woman is thirsty and she's very obvious about she comes off as being needy, and that's
Yeah,
a turn off.
better word.
No one wants to deal with a needy. The man doesn't want to deal with a needy woman because it's a heavy burden. She needs something, and he doesn't want to be the one to provide it because it's too much responsibility. So the thing to remember is that people want what they can't have, you know? So that's the other part of the psychology of man women relationships. You can give him the signal that you're open and to receive his attentions, but it's about attracting it, not chasing it. A thirsty or a needy woman is chasing it, and she just chases him right on out of her situation, out of her experience. And you don't want to do that. It's
Okay. Liz Beauty Queen Martis uses another word, frantic. And then
mhm.
she also says she likes that word, that terminology, needy also. A text just came in. It's a question. She says, how do I reach out to a man when I have always been shy and reserved?
Can she smile?
Okay. So she should smile.
When she makes eye contact, can she smile?
I don't know. She has to text me and say if she can. I'm assuming. It,
Yeah.
okay. Wow. Okay. So in other words, not being, let's say she sees someone who she feels she might be interested in, and she doesn't have to say anything. She can just kind of, just like you say, just smile.
Make eye contact and smile. It's just that human thing of recognizing another human, acknowledging, making a pleasant face. If he's interested, he'll say something else. When I was in sitting in Starbucks, I was looking up recipes one summer afternoon, and I was dressed well in yet my favorite color, yellow. It's a very attractive color for me because of my hair and all. And nobody, few people wear it. At any rate, I'm sitting there with my recipe books, figuring out these recipes. And the man would come up to me and say, "So, what are you cooking?" And I tell them I was looking for a recipe for jambalaya. And they'd say, "Oh, what time is dinner?"
Oh,
So, if I had wanted to, I could have invited some very nice men to dinner. But I'm a married woman, and I was truly looking for recipes. I was just playing with the energy of that environment to see what would happen if I presented myself in a certain way and see what happened. And that's what happens. So if you're playful, if you're optimistic, if your presentation is such that is pleasant, and the things can happen. You can meet the wonderful men if you put yourself in a situation where they are.
okay.
Mhm.
All righty. So okay, so another text came in, and it says, this may be a little off subject. How does neediness look in a relationship? What differs between needy and expressing what you need in a relationship?
um, the difference is the stage of the partnership, I think. And also, we're talking about communication here and clarity. We were talking when the needy girls, thirsty girls, those are women who are single and they want male attention. They just see somebody who looks hot and they're going after them. It's not about relationship or development or partnership, even. Somebody in a partnership expressing their needs, expressing what they desire, it's quite a different kind of situation. because you've made a commitment if you're in a partnership to
Mm-hmm.
take care of yourself and your partner. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a commitment issue there that isn't there when you're just needy at the gym trying to get somebody's eye.
Okay. Okay. So now there's okay, so you had on yellow, and I guess like you said, you were playing with the environment. When you are coaching women on, how to find that man, do you look at them and say, okay, oh, I know you said don't wear black because they just walk past you, but do you say, okay, this particular color is good on you? It shows your energy, or
Oh yes.
is that a part of what you do?
Yes, I can help women talk about the choose colors that are attraction. You can wear color and be noticed without opening your mouth. So you don't have to, again, chase the energy. You're attracting it. Have you noticed the difference between people wearing bright, bold colors and people wearing black? Where does your eye go?
Yeah.
It goes to the bright, bold color, right?
Right. Right.
So it's just a matter of when people come to me, I give them their soulmate readiness quiz, and then we determine if they're really ready to go after the soulmate. If they're ready, and that means are they ready for love like right now, or are they just kind of interested or curious? Or there are different degrees of interest. And then when we have our 15-minute Meet Patricia meeting, I go over the quiz. It's only 15 questions, but it's fun, but it's serious at the same time. It's checking the things. Are they strong in being clear about what they want? Are they strong in their presence and their charisma? We've been talking about presence and charisma with these colors and smiles and being present.
Mm-hmm.
And how do they communicate? Because my mom used to always tell me, girl, you can catch more flies with honey than you can vinegar. So it was important for me to recognize, oh, it's how I say things. I can say almost anything, but it has to be how I say it. And that will get me the result that I'm wanting if I say it in the right way. So that has to be looked at. And the quiz just lets you know what needs to be tweaked. Recently, I had a woman who very successful, like all my clients are, very independent, and she was having trouble finding a partner on her terms because she really doesn't need a man in terms of paying her bills or finances. She just wants a companion in the male company. And the men she attracts are saying, well, why should I be with you if you don't need me?
Okay.
So what do we have? Like the opposite ends of the magnet, right? So
Yeah.
so basically the idea is if she wants to have a generous, kind man who's emotionally available, she just needs to look at the men she's meeting and say, okay, what is it that I really like about this guy? And let him know that. That's the other thing. We're just talking human psychology.
So why is she attracting? You see some women and they attract the same kind of man, and it's not the kind of man that they want, you know?
Well, the thing is that we could go really deep with this, or we can stay pretty shallow with it. But sus- my suspicion is women are attracting men that they don't really want because they're not clear about what they really want. Now, do they want a man who is open and generous and kind because they are? Or are they these kind of women who are what is it in for me? And I don't really care about him or what he needs. Then they're going to attract guys who don't really care about her needs too. You know,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
attract who you are. It's kind of like a mirror effect. So once women know what they're projecting out there, then they can tweak it and get the kind of guy that they really want to be with.
Okay, now let's say it's the woman and she says, I know what kind of man I want. And she sees this man and they get into a relationship and she finds out in their relationship, this is really not the man that I want. Does that happen a lot?
Oh, it happens. And the thing is that sometimes women meet men who are very skillful at hearing what it is she's saying and giving her what it is that she says she wants long enough to get what they want. It may
Mhm.
not be the same thing, they may have different values. So, again, that's where the communication comes in and the ability to set boundaries. Sometimes women are not clear on where the line is, what the rule is that they'll put up with. They'll say, "Oh, he doesn't really mean that. Oh, he's not really that kind of guy." Even though he's showing them that he's that kind of guy, they're saying, "Oh no, he's not really like that." Yes, he is. Listen to what he's saying and showing you. He
Yeah.
always shows you who he is. And if
Yeah.
that's not what you're wanting, then it's up to you to clearly communicate that you're out of there and you're not going to deal with it. I have met women who have been with men for a very, very long time, and they have been unhappy for half of that time because they kept telling themselves, "Oh, he's not really like that. He's going to change." No, he's not going to change. There's no reason for him to change. When did
Okay.
he change? Yeah. So anyway, it's just seeing clearly, making your rules, and sticking to them.
Yeah. I think what happens with some women, they stay because they don't want to be alone,
Mhm.
and rather than letting that go so that they can have the man that they really want, they stick to that. And to me, it's like you blocking what it is that you want because you holding on to this that you really don't want. So you want, but the only reason you want that person is because you don't want to be by yourself.
Yes. That
So
there's
yeah,
there's that fear. I agree with you completely on that one. Yeah.
yeah.
Again, clarity. What is it that you really want? When you
Mhm.
really want that thing, then it's up to you to hold out for it. That's your rule. I'm getting what I want. And that's what I help the ladies do.
So so your thing is part of it is are they ready?
Yeah.
Are they ready?
I like
And
to
a lot
work
of
with
people
women
say,
who are
"Oh,
ready. Yes.
I'm
For
ready."
love.
You said
Ready.
what? Sorry.
Yeah. I like to work with women who are ready for love because 45 plus, think about it. Women live longer and longer these days because we have great health insurance and we take care of ourselves. And so why are people waiting if they could marry somebody, if they don't want to get married, if they could write that next love story and be happy? Why are they waiting? I don't get it.
So is there a difference between when let's say when you're counseling, excuse me, counseling or coaching women? is there a difference between the divorced woman, the widowed woman, and the woman who's never been married in the way that they are looking for their next love story?
Yes. The divorced woman usually has to go through a healing period because if it's been a rocky marriage relationship, if there was any abuse involved, if there was any kind of traumatizing events, she really does have to have counseling and a lot of nurturing care to heal from all of that, because it does damage the mind and the spirit. And if it was physical abuse, of course, that has to be healed as well. And once she's done that, then she's ready for love and she knows what she wants, and her boundaries tend to be more clear and more firm because
Okay.
she's experienced something that she didn't want and she doesn't
Okay.
want that again. Okay.
Okay.
The widowed women come to me, they have been so in love with their husbands that it takes them a long time to overcome the grief of losing him and the relationship, and realizing that he was very special and unique, and they probably aren't going to find another guy like that. So, what is the new love story going to be? So they have to get through or they choose to get through a period of not comparing every man to the one who's gone, and accepting that he is gone and that life is unfolding in a different direction. And once they do that, then we can decide, okay, so what is it that you want now? What's this next love story going to be like?
Do they often want the same love story?
I don't know. Give me a little bit more about the same love story.
Meaning, okay, so like you said, they were very, very in love with their husband.
Mhm.
And, he was, a good man, a good provider, whatever, father, the whole bit. And now she's a widow. So does she, when she feels like she wants another companion or another love story, do they often try to find the same kind of a man, so to speak, or that same love story that they had, or are they, I know this is, being general, but or do they say, you know what, I'm really open. It doesn't have, this new love story doesn't have to be the same as the one that I had.
What I'm finding with the widows who come to me is that they want a relationship with a partner who is going to enjoy um, the funner things in life. They don't really necessarily want a marriage. They
Oh, okay.
no, they want somebody who can take them in a sports car along the highway ocean. There's a road called Highway 1 in California. I've had them express that they want somebody who will take them on long drives to fabulous hotels, to great trips.
Okay.
It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not really about, marriage where, you're living together and day to day and that kind of stuff. No,
Okay.
it's no more like being romanced.
Okay. And what about the woman that's never, she's 45 plus, she might be 50, 60. So is it different for
It is
her?
different for her. She's probably, my ladies have had several relationships, and they may have had one or two of them that were traumatizing, that turned them off on marriage or bonding deeply. So they'd rather be free. They'd rather be independent. But so it's different in that way. those ladies that have come to me have not wanted to be married because they see it as something that would encage them and affect their independence. So
Oh,
they've said things like, I'd rather have a long distance relationship, or, just meet 2 times a week on TV and eat dinner together and just be free in our own separate houses after that. Those are the kinds of things I'm hearing. So, yeah.
oh wow. Okay. So, okay, here's a another question that came in. How would you describe a perfect match to the women that you counsel to use as a goal?
This is generalities.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
thing, the thing that we're looking at is the kind of man who is generous, in that he is open to uh, not sitting on the couch, travel, dining well, having experiences that require energy, and he's understands her. He understands her, that she is a very powerful, self-sufficient woman and needs her independence, and he appreciates that. He's not trying to change her to be this lovely little housewife sitting at home waiting for him to come home, cooking his meals and cleaning his house, because she's not that kind of gal, and she'll never be that kind of gal. So she needs somebody who understands who she is. She's very successful. She's busy. She has her own life. She wants to share it with him, and they can have a partnership where they're deciding where they'll go on vacation, and whether they'll buy real estate together, or whatever it is that they decide to do as a common project. They may even have their own families, their own children, who are usually grown or darn near. And
Hmm.
so they decide on that partnership and how it's going to go. But it's not about giving up herself, her job, her career, so she can be with him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 So, let's when you are counseling or strategizing with them, do you see many women that, or do you see some who, you know, you say, okay, you're ready, you this, but you see them going in the opposite direction, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, you thinking that you've got them right where they should be, and then the feedback you get is like, wait a minute, you said you wanted this kind of man, but now I see you getting this kind of man, or pursuing that kind, this other kind of man that you said you didn't want. Do you see that?
I do. See, the thing is that we women tend to get our head turned by a pretty face. It's kind of like, oh my God, he's so handsome. Surely he can't be like that, but he is. So it's about the values. We keep going back to the values. What is it that is important to you? Is it his pretty face, or is it how he understands you? Is it his shoulders? Because I happen to be a shoulder gal myself. If they have broad shoulders and muscular arms, oh my God, I really do have to watch myself. So, but anyway, so the idea is, what are your values? How do you communicate them in a way that is clear and respectful? What are you doing with your presence? We talk about presence and charisma, because those two things will attract what it is that you want. You don't have to say a whole lot if you got those. If you're listening to a fella and he knows that you're paying attention to him and you like him and you're acknowledging it, that's magnetic. That's bringing the attention to you. So then, you can state what you have to say, what it is that you need, what it is that you want. But first, you have to create that context. Again, we're talking psychology, we're talking how you say things, when you say them. So it's very important when we do strategies to be
Okay.
aware of male psychology and women's psychology as well.
Okay. All right. Here's another question. What is the worst case that you have had to solve regarding women seeking a man?
Getting over a former partner that just, well, one case comes to mind. This woman was a very dear woman and she was very, very successful. She had a divorce and it wasn't a pleasant divorce. And so her thing to get over was the men that she was meeting were not her husband, her ex-husband. So it was about be in the present and see them for who they are and notice them and notice that you like the quality that they are presenting right now instead of thinking, oh well, that reminds me of my husband, so he must be a jerk. So
Okay.
that was a very challenging situation.
So what happened? Did she overcome that and find a
No, she was one of my cases that I was not able to help her break that because she was so angry and so hurt about her husband because he added cheating to the whole match too. And so she just was not able to overcome it at that time. She may have been able to overcome it later, but
mhm.
she was really stuck.
She wasn't ready.
She was not ready.
She wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Liz Beauty Queen Marty says she can say, I guess, like when she's out, she can say, "Hello, how are you?" I do it all the time, and I'm actually not flirting. I'm just speaking. So, is that sending mixed messages?
Um, if she is saying hello, how are you to men, and she's a single woman, it isn't flirting. It's just making herself visible to them. That's real. So
Okay,
I don't see any conflict.
okay, okay. So, if you're making yourself visible, that means that you trying to attract them, correct? Or are you just, I'm
You're
just wondering.
presenting you're presenting yourself as somebody who is attractive and who is pleasant and is saying hello.
Okay,
Any red-blooded man who is interested in this woman saying hello, how are you, is going to move with the conversation.
okay,
Men are very good at that. That's their nature, to continue the conversation. Many of my clients who say hello go out and to take dance classes. They leave the dance class with two numbers. I mean, it's you have to be ready to say hello, to be there. That's why she's there, right? To say
yeah,
hello, to meet
yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. To go out and, like you say, be visible. I guess to have a welcoming spirit and seeing someone that you feel you might be interested in, that you're attracted to, and having that conversation. And I mean, I have that welcoming kind of look, so to speak, or aura about yourself, and you have that welcome, you have that conversation, you can find out from that conversation
Mhm.
If it's like you want to move this forward, or after the conversation, it's like, eh.
Exactly, it's just conversation.
Right, 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 right. Because I have you on because I just know it. There's so many women, and they'll say there are no good men out here. I can't find a man. It's just nothing out here, and there are plenty of them out there. There are plenty good men looking for good women.
Mhm, mhm. And with a strategy and with my help, they can take it from, "Oh, where are all the good men?" to, "Oh my god, he's just what I wanted." But
Whoa.
it requires strategy and knowing what it is that you want, working with your charisma and your presence and your communication.
So you have something called the Smart Heart System.
Mhm.
What is the Smart Heart System?
The Smart Heart System is based on how I met my own husband. And
Oh,
and it suddenly occurred to me as I was at a party that had about 5 men to one woman that this was a playground and I could find somebody special here and I better get started. So
well,
I decided that I would work the room, say hello to people, be visible, smile. And I had a feeling, I'm very intuitive. I had a feeling that he was going to show up, but he was going to be late because that was the way it was in those days. He did. He showed up at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was about ready to go. My thought was, I'm going to work this room, and when I get back to this front door, if he isn't here, I'm just leaving. I'll know it's him because I knew I would feel that it was him. So when he stepped in, I felt the room move like in the romance novels. I could have written a romance novels based on this meeting. And I said, "Oh, there's my husband." So I kept talking to a man that I was talking to. My husband to be finally asked me to dance, and we hit it off well. We didn't agree on much, but it was agreeable disagreement. And he was so good looking and intelligent, and his energy was such that I felt like I had come home, which is the mark of a soulmate. You feel familiar. This is, you know, I've known you all my life or some life. So at any rate, we made a date, and we've been having date nights for more than 50 years.
wow. Wow. Wait a
Yes,
minute. You say you worked the room.
I did. You know how you network at networking
Wait a
events?
minute. No, ladies want to know, how did you work the room?
Oh, I just went, well, I was dressed well because it was a party.
Hmm.
And so I just went up to some person who was standing alone. And I said, "Hello, how are you?" Started a conversation about something they were wearing, about the room, about the music, or something. Anything. It doesn't matter what you talk about. just say, just start a conversation about something that they can respond to you about. And so that would lead to something else. And so we'd be chatting around, and then it was like, "Well, see ya." And then I'd go meet somebody else. So I did that just to the men and the groups of people, not just men, that I caught my eye.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't indiscriminate in this working the room thing. And then my goal, as I said, was to meet somebody special before I got back to the front door. And I was about ready to leave when the husband to be stepped in. Excuse me. I knew it was him because the broom was doing felt funny. You know how somebody is looking at you at the stoplight or something? You feel somebody staring
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I looked at him and I said, "Oh," there he is, to myself, you have to be cool. So, and so anyway, when he talked to me and I talked to him, the conversation was a flowing kind of conversation. It felt like I had known him a long time. He looked the part of my husband to be because he had on he was dressed well. He was tall, dark, and handsome. He was just, the package was perfect.
What you were looking for.
What I was looking for. And the feeling that I had with this man was what I was looking for. I felt as if I could go to Las Vegas that very night and marry this person. But,
Wow.
I'm saying to myself, okay, you really do have to see how it works. You can't just run off with people. So I'm a very cautious person, even though I recognize the right thing right away. So we dated for 5 years, and
Oh, okay.
and by that time, I had seen him in different situations, and I knew that I wanted to be with him long time. Sometimes we can't rush into situations with relationships, even though the package is nice, because, like I said, some men are good at pretending for months. And then if you commit to them, you discover he's not what I thought he was at all.
Then you got to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Got
yeah, I mean, there has to be the boundary. I'm looking for this. If you're not it, and we have tried, then, next.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that word. Before I was married,
Mm-hmm.
my husband was sitting over there. I have to say, before I was married, way before I met him, I would say next. That was the operative word, next.
Yeah.
When you find out this is not what I want, even though you feel like you really want someone, but like you say, the boundaries, and it like, oh no, this is not it. No, no matter what the feelings are, those emotional feelings are, you got to have those boundaries and stick to them, and always know, to me, that he's there, he's out there, he's out there, so I know that there are ladies here who are watching and listening that need you, that are looking, that are either, keep going, getting the wrong man, or just feel they just can't find a man, and they need to find out if they're ready, and they need some strategies. So how can they reach you?
I would love to have them talk to me, take that 15-minute Meet Patricia meeting. It's on my screen. I hope they can see it. They might do a screenshot of it. But when they sign up for that 15-minute comp meeting, I'll send them the soulmate readiness quiz. They can take those 15 questions. It's about 6 minutes, and they're grading themselves on these situations. And then when I get the results, I can score it. And then in the meeting, we'll be talking about what it means, where they are on their journey to love, if they truly are ready to go on this journey to meet their soulmate level love.
Okay. So now, for those who are just listening, because this is Audible also, Patricia, so if you go on Calendly, just if you put in the name Patricia Fuqua, Patricia, and her last name is Fuqua, you will find her. You can also find her on Facebook. And her name again is Patricia Fuqua. Patriciafuqua. She is, for you professional business women, she is also on LinkedIn. And so, you know what? I want to keep in contact with you because I want to hear that I saw her on your show, and guess what? I met the man of my dreams because I talked with Patricia Fuqua.
Yes, I love that.
Patricia, and so for those, take a screenshot, or for those who are techie non-savvy techies, take your phone and just take a picture. I'm leaving it up there for you. Take a picture of it because you need to find your love match, your soulmate, and just be in this wonderful, wonderful love story. Thank you so much, Patricia, for being my guest. I know that that the ladies have gotten a lot out of this, and I'm encouraging you ladies, get in contact with her. And especially the ones that I know that tell me can't find a man, and you're looking for a man, and you're looking for your soulmate. I don't want to hear it anymore, because when you tell me that, I'm going to say, have you contacted Patricia Fuqua? That's all I'm going to say.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much, Patricia. You have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. 50 years of marriage, OMG. I just have a girlfriend, and I went to her 55th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
And right, so I don't think I'll be around that long to make 55. but yes, it is possible, ladies. It's possible, because I was over 45, way over 45, when I found my love story. So thank you so much again. You have a beautiful, blessed rest of your evening in
You as
beautiful
well.
Georgia. All
Thank
righty. I'm
you.
going to keep this up here. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been great. This has been great. And I mean what I say, people. Ladies who I know, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, because that's what I'm going to say to you. Have you contacted Patricia Fuqua? Okay? All righty. So it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure. Remember, there are all kinds of relationships. All kinds of relationship matters. Life is about relationships. I will see you again next week on Relationship Matters TV. Bye-bye.